Welcome to 4AZ. I'm your host, Tyler McDowell Blanken, and I am joined by a very, very special guest today. He is so many things. For starters, he's a friend, a father, and an amazing educator. I also think he's a future mayor of Tucson, but rest assured, we are going to get into that. I'm joined by the one and only Tommie Clardy III. Tommie, how are you?
Man, well, thank you for the introduction, brother. That's amazing and enticing. I'm doing well, brother. Life is good. God is so great, man. There's so many things going on in the world, Ty, that I can't complain. I'm blessed. I'm blessed with fresh air and three beautiful babies and a wonderful wife and a lot to give to the community that I'm currently serving, man. So, um, I always try to think positive with what's going on in this world, man. It's so much.
You got to. You got to, man. I love all of that for you, Tommie. I can't believe the count's up to three now. You and
Man,
Mariah got three amazing
yo, we
children.
outnumbered.
That I mean, if I'm doing the math, yeah. I think the math checks out on that one. Man, okay, I have so much to ask you about, Tommie. Of course, we're gonna talk education. I also want to
Mhm.
talk about how we met. So
Yes.
when I was preparing for this conversation, the first memory I had was our lunch at Payway
Yeah.
on University in Tucson,
Yeah.
Arizona. For
Yeah.
for, for those who are
Yeah. Yeah.
for our YouTube fans, viewers right now, my man Tommie just absolutely flashed his U of A gear in front of us. I told him I got the ASU helmet right above me, so we got a little territorial cup rivalry right now as we speak. But Tommie, man, you and I met in Tucson. We met through your dad, actually, who I definitely want to talk about. Your dad is an absolute neighborhood legend,
Mhm.
a hero of the city. Uh, he's an entrepreneur. Like, first, tell us more about your pops and how important he's been to your life.
Oh, for sure, man. We young men of color, man, don't always have that opportunity to have a father present. Um, Especially growing up in Tucson, man. A lot of the cats I grew up with did not have both parents, yet alone a dad. So for me, I would say my dad is since day one laced me up with opportunities to be well connected and have exposure. Some of the things that we do in education is far as showing kids opportunity and putting them in front of people to shape their experiences and shape their mind. But pops, old school, but at the same time, the freshest guy I know to this day. You know what I
Period.
mean? So
Period. The
very
man is
loving.
always stylish.
Yeah, man. So work ethic is bar none, man. Nobody, I would say, can fake pop on that side of the thing. Is relates to becoming a barber, man, and then now having Tommie's Barber and Beauty.
That's
Um,
right. Promote
it's
that thing.
it's remarkable, man. He had an opportunity to actually come to my school, Pace High School, Pathways Accelerating Career Experiences in Casa
Saw
Grande.
that. Tell us
His
about that. Yeah, you're
platform.
out in Casa Grande.
Just reached out to the GOAT, man. It was like, look, I need you to come and bless us, share some words of encouragement, and also your story. So we look forward to having Tyler come and bless our kids here in Casa Grande. But that opportunity presents itself for you. But yeah, having a pops role model, um, everything that I could ask for, and the heart of a lion, but only standing 5'9". So um, I can. There's nothing that I can't say that wouldn't um, paint the picture of who he is, man. He's a God fearing man too. That's what I love. He wasn't always that way, and that's something that's important to me. Being look, everybody's day and clock is gonna come. So wanting to ensure that that was a part of his life, man. Because I love my daddy, I love my pops. He got two different names, so he's dad. When it's serious, he's pops. Yo, that's my pops. Yeah, that's pops.
there's there's a distinction depending
Yes,
on the time, the place, the situation. Thank you for sharing that, Tommie. I don't know that I've ever, or at least it's been years since I've asked you about your pops and how you view him, and it's clear the affection you have for him. So many people love your dad. He is Tucson's greatest barber. Like
Mm.
you said, he was working at Al's barber shop. If anyone's been to Tucson,
Oh
they
yeah,
got to know about Al's barber shop.
for
Legendary
sure.
spot on Grant Road. And so he used to cut my hair, and then he ended up introducing us, like I said, which we'll get into. But what was it like? And now he owns his own shop, Tommie's Barber and Beauty. Shout out. What was it like growing up the son of a barber? Because I feel like the barber shop is, and forever will be it holds such an important place in the
Mm.
community, in Black culture. What was
Yes.
that like to have a pops who's so well known because of his artistry at the barber shop?
You know, man, when you're a kid, especially as a younger adolescent, I would say I didn't really, I was never starstruck, but I was always of the mind like this is that guy, right? Like this is the guy that disciplined at the same time, lots of love, and as it relates to this, seeing him interact with his customers, clients that became, family. I got a lot of uncles, cousins, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Brothers of the same age. They're not necessarily blood
Yeah,
related, but
of course.
just growing up in the barbershop, man, seeing people like Damon Stoudemire, Miles Simon, Big Daddy Kane, so on and so forth, to everyday people, man, it's definitely, I would say, watching my pops operate, smooth, precise, and on his P's and Q's, man. It's been a privilege and an honor, and I look forward to continuing to now take some of like my kids, of course, down to the shop. It's always a joy to be in the shop. Just the atmosphere and the vibe, the good times are undefeated. But taking some of these kids I'm working with currently as a counselor in Pace, to see what I had an opportunity to witness every day. I mean, back in Al's barbershop, speaking of Al's, I was the quietest kid. Now people, oh man, he talks, he speaks, he articulates. Oh, okay, wow. People like Stoudemire. Man, I didn't know he talked. Uh, man, I used to play the sticks back in the day. You remember the Nintendo 64 NBA hang time?
Of course I do.
That was
Is that
my jam in NFL Blitz. So while he
NFL
was cutting hair,
Blitz?
in between haircuts, I will sweep the floor, take out the trash for every barber in the shop. But also, little kids my age would come or grown folk adults. And we had little tournaments, man. And have
Yeah, on that little TV, right?
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I remember
yes sir, yes sir.
many hours spent at Al's. Man, that's
And
a that's a
classic.
that's
It's a movie for sure.
it's a movie for sure. I was gonna ask you
I
who's the
mean,
most famous person you met through your dad at the barber shop. You mentioned Mighty Mouse, right? We got Damon Stoudemire, Miles
Mighty
Simon, Big
Mouse,
Daddy Kane, some heavy hitters. Anyone else we're missing?
Miles Simon, Gilbert Arenas. Um,
Region
it's
Zero.
a lot of the Wildcats, man. A lot
Yeah,
again,
of
for the
course,
U of A Wildcats.
of course.
A
5 minutes
lot of
from campus.
Wildcats, but also I would say, man, Ty, the way I look at TV shows, right? Everybody got a TV show. Is Are you tuning in to their TV show? To me, uh, Pops always stood head to toe with these guys that have made it to the NBA and have that legendary status. So to be his son and to witness the connection and the interpersonal communication that was going on between those individuals that I mentioned, but also like I do remember a quick story. You remember Sean Elliott? You know Sean Elliott, right?
Of course,
Legendary Wildcat.
Troy, a legend. We're gonna get into Troy. We're gonna get into Troya talk, Tommy. Don't you
So
worry, brother. Yes, I
So when
remember him.
Sean was going through his stuff with his kidneys, when he was forced to retire from the NBA,
Mm.
and then he came back, I remember those days, man. Going to his private condos and pops, he making sure he looked right for his game, right? But also, Eugene Edgerson. Eugene played with the Wildcats, but he's also a Harlem Globetrotter. Um, Being at family functions like it's nothing. So to me, being around people of whatever stature, I never really have kind of like I would say bow down or like been starstruck in that way. Um, who did get me though?
Who got you?
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps, bro.
Tell, tell us about.
Mike Epps came to the
Tell,
shop when he
tell
was
us about that.
recording next Friday.
Oh
So
wow.
this is like when Mike, I felt like I know he's had minor roles prior, but next Friday was that's when he hit the big stage.
That was the breakout. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Mike Epps, because Mike Epps was clowning on everybody, and I was like, okay. Yeah, said something funny. I can't remember what exactly he said, but I got a photo.
Yeah.
Of it.
Mike Epps.